Next, we'll be having a presentation from the French department. Doctors Schwertner, Ruffo, and Longtain will be giving a presentation entitled French Works.
Hi. Welcome. Welcome to Western. You've already had the welcome speech. I will present myself and my colleague, and then we'll get started. This current session, French Works. I am the undergraduate chair in French Studies here at Western. So I wear a hat which allows me to have contact on a pretty regular basis with a great number of undergraduate students, such as perhaps yourself next year. I also wear the hat of a teacher because I'm a professor in the department as well. I happen to also be an affiliate in Women's Studies, but that's another story. I also wear another hat. I have children like Sébastien who are going through the French language system in London, Ontario. So I've been trying to get in touch with as many high schools as I can, so this is a wonderful opportunity to speak to you today. Quick question for you. How many of you, I understand that grade 9 French is mandatory, correct? How many of you were super courageous enough to take grade 10? Good for you, wow. How about grade 11? Show of hands. Excellent. And grade 12? Very good.
Just in grade 11.
Okay, grade 11. Very good. Fair enough. For those of you that have persisted with French, it's because you already have a very, very, very good idea, perhaps, of how important French is in Canada, because it is not the other official language, but one of 2 official languages in Canada. So, this explains the title we chose for this session, French Works. Self-explanatory perhaps, but nonetheless I will expand. Why this title, French Works? Because as we argue today, and as many have argued before us, as much evidence, much research has shown that language study expands the brain. We all exercise at the gym because we know it's good for our body, but language study, in particular in French, is also good for the brain, and what's good for the brain is good for the body, right? But it's more than that. French in Canada is useful. Regardless of where you're headed, regardless of where your interests might lie, and there may be many interests, French is useful for all professions. Well, I would say many, if not all professions, at least indirectly, if not directly. Professional careers such as in diplomatic circles, research professions, legal, teaching careers, all kinds of opportunities to use French. And I'll give the example again of a student who came to me last week in a panic who said, I just found out that I need French to apply to a program in social work. So it's never too late to come back to French if you have let it drop. We have all kinds of courses here at Western which prepare you so that you can be as marketable as you want to be. French is an asset. It is an advantage regardless of where you're headed. Okay? Some ability to speak is something that we encourage in the classroom, as Sébastien will further expand upon shortly. We do offer other opportunities as well, other than just in the classroom, because we are very much aware of how useful and how practical and how important language study, in particular French, is for all of us. So we offer a number of outreach opportunities, sort of extra and co-curricular activities, which allows students to put French to use in a very practical way while getting extra or co-curricular credit. We also have a number of exchange, study abroad, and French immersion experience opportunities. We have our own school. Est-ce qu'on distribue? Si. C'est passé. Merci. This here, this dépliant, this is a brochure promoting a French immersion school, which belongs to Western. It's called Trois Pistoles. This is a very popular option for people who want to accelerate, improve drastically and dramatically in a very short period of time. What's more, you can get a government bursary, and we are told any student who wants to declare credit for this experience will get a government bursary to study. So why not study for free and improve your French? That's what I say. It's a very quick and effective way of growing your French abilities to speak, write, think, dream, breathe in French. Okay. Other opportunities involve are opportunities for exchange, such as the exchange we run to Nice. Nice is where?
France.
Yes, in the south of France, where it is much warmer than it is here already. Great opportunity. I'm going to read to you a few quotes from students who in the recent years have gone to Nice. These are our own students whom we sent with bursaries to study in France. Okay? Because we know that from a utilitarian perspective, the ability to communicate is important, the ability to speak, and what better way than in a French-speaking environment, such as here at home, but also elsewhere in other parts of the world, and in this case, France. I quote Deanna, "The exchange program in Nice has exceeded all my expectations prior to departure. The ability to meet new people, to travel and experience new cultures, and all the while improving my knowledge of the French language has been an incredible, most worthwhile experience." Here's a quote from Kristen. "This exchange helped me grow both in my French language skills, but also personally." Definitely a year to remember. Jessica says, "I have spent the year improving my spoken and written French. I have made lifelong friends, and I've grown a huge love and passion for French culture and travel." One final quote. "I've been lucky enough to make lifelong friends, to travel the world, and to drastically improve my French in this a once-in-a-lifetime experience." So we encourage you to take a look at our website for all the various opportunities we offer off campus to learn and grow your French reading, writing, speaking, living experiences. One of the ways in which on campus we've been looking to give students the best possible learning experience in French is to take a look at our courses and to see in what way we can innovate our courses so as to help you in the best way possible. So we offer you the example of speaking text. Sébastien Ruffo, who is received an award along with his colleague Marion Longtin for this course, which is has been voted as being exceptionally exceptional and innovative. And I let Sébastien present himself and his course.
Thank you, Karine. Thank you very much. Guys, I am so very happy to be addressing you today because I spend my time here in this classroom as a university professor, PhD, blah, blah, blah. But I'm also a Ontario certified teacher for teaching French first and second language at your levels. And I never get to do that, so I'm happy to be with you. The fun thing about university compared to school is that we get more freedom to develop special projects. So I was allowed to do this thing, which is different and permits me to address two difficulties I think we may have when we study French at your levels. Now, I say that because, as I told you, I'm prepared for teaching there, but also I have a son who is in grade 12 doing French at the moment. So I talk a lot with him about this. And it's not easy to speak French. Often we get to do a lot of grammar and maybe not so much speaking. There are reasons for that. It can be stressful for you guys to speak in your second language in front of everyone. And I get it. I actually learned a third language as a grown-up. I learned Italian when I was over 20. And it's a stress. I understand that. Another problem we face in the classroom is how much time can we actually give to your speaking my language. Now, these are not scientific figures. There's this interrogation mark. It's pink. It's an idea. It sort of makes sense, though. maybe, you speak at the most 30%. Collectively, all of you in the classroom, the teacher has to speak. When you work in group, well, you end up speaking English after a while. That's normal. And then you watch audio, video, and you read. So all that, if you do the math in a normal classroom, but also here in our normal classrooms, we get, 25 students, 38 weeks, that's your school year, 3 hours. I calculated that one of you may have the attention of the teacher for a whole hour over the whole year. Maybe I'm wrong, but probably not tenfold. It's in that ballpark. So, what can I do? I want to address in-class stress, and I want to address the problem of not having enough time. So, I invent this flipped blended teaching. Blended means that there'll be a lot of computer time. Okay, it's blended with online stuff, etc. Flipped means that what happens in the classroom is not the teaching itself. What we do is practice, and that type of practice that I make, I want it to give a feeling that it's not stressful. Therefore, you don't get grade for how you speak in the class. Hence the marshmallow, okay? I want to feel like we're around some sort of campfire. And we're free to try it very freely. So we work on pronunciation, accent, intonation. This is a third-year class, right? And we will try this together. Now, this is a book that I use about all sorts of fancy intonations. Actually, I did my PhD on intonation in French in theater, okay? So that's the thing I like. Now we'll work on indignation. What is indignation? Did you feel indignated lately? You may feel indignated when you know of someone in authority above you who did something that you would be ashamed of. Did that ever happen? Sort of ashamed for someone who's above you? Well, that's one way of being indignated. And French people are often indignated. It's a motor of political engagement, being indignated. You hear that all the time. Oh, I'm so indignated. And that's one way, through intonation, through the way to speak, to put your feet in a French guy's, a French girl's shoes from within. Okay? So we'll listen to voices that will say sentences that are indignated. And try not to be English. Try not to be yourself. And please, lend me your voice. We'll fit in that person's shoes, okay? So.
Exercice 5. Trop, c'est trop. 1.
Pas du tout.
Pas du tout.
2.
Il n'en est pas question.
Il n'en est pas question.
3.
Ça, jamais.
Ça, jamais.
4.
C'est nul. C'est trop nul.
C'est nul. C'est trop nul.
5.
C'est pas vrai.
C'est pas vrai.
Okay. So this is not just theater, actually. This is more. This is culture. I believe it. And now, at home, what do you do with that? At home, you open your computer and you record oral homework. And they are long and they're fastidious, and this is where the big work happens. So what can these homework be? Okay, so we have this OWL learning environment for you to input these things and for me to listen to it. Well, here are homeworks I ask my class to do. You may have to tell a bedtime story in French. We have great ones, you know? And when it's the wolf, you have to make the wolf so the child in the bed is happy about your wolf, right? You may have to reverse a job interview in French, which is something that does happen to many of you in the future. And with mock questions, and you answer these things. You may have to deliver a political speech about feminism or whatever. And dub the Flintstones. I have movies where I retracted the audio line of some characters. And if you're a boy, you insert Fred. And if you're a girl, you insert Wilma. And try to be as fun as possible. Pretend you're a tour guide around town. This is a homework we do with our devices. You film yourself, actually, and you present, I don't know, something interesting in London or wherever to a group of Frenchie who just came out of their tour bus, right? And you present them town. Or try to be a stand-up comic and do a monologue in French. Or narrate a documentary about killer polar bears. And you do that voice behind. I have that, really. Or play a French drama character. My specialty, Cyrano de Bergerac, and it's in verses. And we have all Fable de La Fontaine and all sorts of homework like that. Okay? And then I listen to you personally. And I give you feedback on what you said. For example, in what country do you live, guys? Canada. I like your accent. Well, I was hoping for more of an English accent, but I commend you on yours. Usually, Anglophones, they live in Canada. And when I hear that, I let the play the tape of your voice, and you say, Bonjour, monsieur, je m'appelle Mario et j'habite au Canada. And then I say, Mario, merci beaucoup. Mais en passant, le mot Canada, il n'est pas anglais. Le mot Canada, il n'est pas français. It's some Indian word. So when you say it in English, say it how you like. When you say it in French, say it our way. Anyway, it's not yours nor mine. It's Indian. We all break that word when we say it. So please say Canada. Not Canada. Canada. And I correct your accent word by word. And it punches because it's on your own voice that I do it. On your own mistakes. Okay? And the intonation and the rhythm and the emotion also if we get at that level because it's a third-year class.
Sébastien, can I just say one thing?
Go ahead.
This is just to give you an example of how we're innovating. This is us responding to feedback we've had every year. We're in the process of doing that right now. We send out surveys to all students who have ever taken a course with us, and we say to them, give us your feedback. Tell us how we can improve. And the thing we hear, or we have heard in the past, is we want to practice our pronunciation. Correct us. Don't wait until we're out into the job market. Tell us now so that we can improve now, so that we can get better. So this is Sébastien taking the bull by the horns and making this improvement now in his course, right? Bravo.
So, well, thanks to technology and the freedom I get here, I'm able to do this. Mm-hmm. And so the figures, with my system, I think within 12 weeks, in school we get 38 weeks. In 12 weeks, I get my students to speak probably 3 times more than in a normal class. And that's to me, it's not collectively, it's to me especially. So I think it works, and that's why Mario, who should have been here, Mario Lontain, who does this with me, we're 2 clowns on the stage doing that. We got this award of excellence for teaching this year, for this one.
Can you tell us what this award of excellence is? This is from a student body.
Well,
this is from the university.
This is something I can take the time to explain to you. At Western, the student experience is of the utmost importance for the whole institution. Therefore, we listen a lot to what students have to say. At the end of every one of my course, I get evaluated personally, etc., etc. And so the arguably the most important award a professor can get is not given by the university, but given by the University Student Council. So it's them organizing for this award to happen. And so there were this year, I don't know, a lot of them in 80, I think. And they dispatch students like you in classrooms you're not enrolled in. I got visited by 7 students on 4 occasions. And they took note and they had to report. And that's how they educate these awards. Just to say that your side of the classroom is extremely important to us, you see. That's what we start bragging about after.
We're just going to brag a little bit longer. So there are hundreds of professors on campus, right? 2 of these professors, final candidates, the award winners, are from our department. Bravo.
Yeah, and we get English too on the board today.
Yeah.
So the arts and humanities is definitely a great place for you to come and study your first degree.
I believe this gentleman is in chemistry, right? So 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
Okay, so I think we have a time for some questions if you have any about this, about Western, how you see your future. Would you like to come here, guys? Maybe yes.
We have often been asked, so French Works, we've been often asked, why take French at Western? Western is an Anglophone university, right? In the mostly Anglophone community, not entirely. There is a strong Francophone community in London, Ontario. Why take French at Western? French studies is one of the largest departments in all of Canada. It has a very good reputation, and we're very proud to be able to offer you very innovative courses. Having one of the largest departments in Canada of French studies means that we have more faculty, and that faculty is able to offer more coverage. Each faculty member has a teaching area, which means that we can offer a greater variety of courses. Our faculty teach a variety of different topics. We don't just teach French, we also teach linguistics. So tomorrow, one of our colleagues will be speaking to a group of students about linguistics, in particular French linguistics, but not exclusively. So we do have the opportunity to give you the additional advantage of studying in a variety of sub-disciplines related to language study in French. Any questions?
Makes me want to come back and take some French courses.
You're welcome, and classes are open to everyone. Some classes without...
We have the sort of... so it is possible to... there are all kinds of special status for students returning, for people at any point in their career or life to come back to take courses. We also have this new initiative. It's not our own exclusively. It's called Open Access Learning, which is an initiative organized through Western, but we are participating in it. So there are all kinds of ways of furthering your study in French. And again, not just language. You can also learn language through reading, through writing, through speaking, obviously, as we have shown you today.
Well, I just put the open access courses. We have business French, French for healthcare. We have French for public administration and French for the media, which are open to everyone. This is, of course, if you come at Western, you can take these classes, but even if you do not. So if you know people around you who would like to improve their French on those aspects. Well, Karine, we've been faster.
Yes. It was a course against the montre last session. This time we were...
The timing is not easy.
Race against the clock, is that it? Yeah.
Now, I'll take this opportunity. These numbers yes, go ahead.
So is there any high school prerequisites for these programs? Because I know French is pretty hard to fit in your schedule.
Oui. So we have what we call pre-university level French courses. So for instance, there's no harm if you didn't take grade 10 French, which is not the case for all of you. We have a course for you. So if you did grade 10, we have a course for you, which is essentially the equivalent of grade 11, more or less, right? So we bring you up to speed, right? For all of you who decide to do grade 12, we have a course, which is a first-year university level course. These are for the moment, the course codes. If you've done grade 12, you can automatically enroll in these courses, in either of these courses. The numbers don't mean much, but essentially this course here, the first semester is a review of grade 12. We are currently in the process of reviewing these two courses. so as to combine them, but that's another issue. It is possible if you feel that you're particularly strong and if you would like to accelerate your studies, we have on our main page of the French department website a placement test, which is not a grade. If you do not get penalized, anyone can take it. So I did a series of visits in February to high schools, to a variety of high schools in London, and several of the instructors, and I encourage your instructors to do that, have your students write the French placement test. You just need a computer, and what happens is you fill in the blank questionnaire, and it takes about, I'd say, 20 minutes at least, and then you get an automatic answer from the computer telling you where you would fit in our classes. And why is that interesting? Because after talking with some teachers in French core high schools in London, a number of these classes, the majority of the students were placed in second year French with us. So that tells you how it is possible to skip first year while having only done grade 12. Okay? So if you feel that it might be possible for you to skip first year, all you need to do is write the French placement test, and that will be all the permission you need to skip to a 2000 level French course. And this would speed up your studies with us. Okay?
Will you be able to direct me to the
donc le
placement
test de placement, il est là.
Ah,
Voilà.
so this.
Voilà. Ok? Et on clique ici. On commence ici. Voilà. Et ensuite ici, il y a plein de clics. Just be aware that you are requested to use Firefox and not Safari. Okay? Click here. You do have to, yeah. And here's an example.
Choisissez la forme correcte. Tu vas me raconter cette histoire mieux que moi. D'accord? You can go and play with that, and you'll see where you would fit actually at this point in our department.
Yeah.
Okay, well, time is up for us now.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your attention, guys.
Merci à vous.
Yes, I've been living inside of you, but I guess it's time I set me free, and there's nothing that you can do. I hope you can see.
I can't seem to keep people around me, cause I'm scared that they might know the truth all about me. Then they might doubt me, there's no other route. I wanted to shout, but it's too late now, cause I'm drowning. Got two-faced like I'm a clown, man. Life is too great, no, it's astounding. I'm in good shape, ma, but you know that I'm drowning like a cup in a cage. I can't cope with this hopelessness, though I try to be open and go with it, but I'm soaking in the pain like the wind never stop flowing in. As I'm floating in a glowing river through a golden gate, trying to motivate. Yeah, I do my fucking best, but there's two voices in my head, I just can't. I just fucking can't.
Yes, I've been living inside of you, but I guess it's time I set me free, and there's nothing that you can do. I hope you can see me. Yes, I've been living inside of you, but I guess it's time I set me free, and there's nothing that you can do. I hope you can see.
Baby, what you looking like this? You be fine, trust me, just in time to get along. No, leave me alone. Why, yes, can you see that you are alone, big? We're now sitting in our own throne, big. We need nobody, can you see it through? But it's not you who I should be listening to. Guess what, big? Nobody fucking needed you. No, and nobody fucking needed me. Yeah, they never needed us. Like when they nailed Jesus up, there's no fucking heaven that they don't believe in us. But they my friend, I'm the only one that you can trust. Yeah, god damn it, you an idiot. Go online, be a slave for the media. And you forgot what your father said. Are you serious? Look at yourself, big. You fucking idiots.
Yes, I've been living inside of you, but I guess this time I set me free.
Oh, I love this. I love
There's
this.
nothing that you can do.
Funny guy is always, I see.
I hope you can
Can you
see.
see it, big? There's no one else.
Yes, I've been But I guess this time I set me free. And there's nothing that you can do.